In this video, we're going to briefly cover some quartal, quintal, sus, and pandiatonic techniques and how you might use them in a specific scenario. And I do use them in a specific example here, which we'll cover later. The thing to really remember about all of this is a really broad topic, especially when it comes to like impressionistic kind of sounds and whatnot. The impressionistic composers, everybody always thinks, okay, whole tone. No, these guys used everything from quartal, quintal, sus, pandiatonic, whole tone, pretty much anything in the entire bag of tricks of harmony had been used by the impressionistic guys, including reviving modes as well. So before I get to the example, let's just cover some things here, some real basics. A sus chord, sus2, inverted becomes quartal. That you can invert that into a quintal chord. You can invert that into a sus4 chord. So each one of these chords actually has its own unique chord color that you could actually hear, even with the same set of notes, unlike triads. What I really like about these chords is they could fit tons of scale types. Like this shape here can fit offhand an A major shape, the notes of A major, F Lydian, same notes as C major, B flat Lydian, same notes as F major, D minor, D Dorian. It'll fit all of those. We'll actually just take D Dorian as an example. Typically, if you just use bass triads, it sounds like a very light minor. So for example, this kind of shape, someone like Stravinsky or Ravel would use a lot for a very kind of unsettling Dorian. Using the flat six there for a second. So alternating between the raised six and the flat six. Sounds very unsettling. Okay, one of the first steps when it comes to like pandiatonic thinking is you don't want to think in terms of chord progressions. Just completely scrap it. Or trying to form third bass triads. It's not really a big concern. Everything is kind of equal here, even though you may hit the third of a chord. And this leads me to the next thing, is that no matter what scale you're using, if you treat everyone as equal, every tone, like C major or A major, all the tones of those, no favoritism, no resolving tendency tones, nothing. It's all out the window now. These quartal shapes and sus shapes and whatnot really help us with that aspect. No favoritism on the tones below in the left hand, that is. And that's just one approach. After that crash course, let's go ahead and move on to the music example. I took a stock actual video footage and just kind of made up a scenario. This horse had a really rough time, and then, a little boy, like a Disney movie, discovered it and befriended it, and they finally found him a good home at the end. Showing a beautiful sunrise in the new home, then the horse in his new home. Okay, I just wanted to use that kind of harmonic thinking and melodic thinking. So here's the opening. Quartal up top, pandiatonic below. All the notes are equal. Moving to a sus chord, E, sus2, with almost a mixolydian kind of feel. Holding that same common quartal shape, moving to an almost a F Lydian sound. Now, you notice there is actually a third there and a major seventh and a 13th, but that's not how I'm thinking at all. However, to complicate things, because I'm considering everything equal, the cello's melodic line landed on the G. Because I'm also not thinking about triads right now, I'm thinking about that quartal shape and what scale tones fit over it. Starting over. Now, more triadic kind of thinking when it became more dramatic. So after the serene kind of impressionistic view of the landscape, when it switches to the horse, it becomes more triadic. A, D minor 7th, G sus2, C, E. So for me, sometimes what holds these things together are the melodic motifs, so that you have that quarter note triplet followed by quarter notes. So every phrase starts out with this quarter note triplet, including the part where it becomes more dramatic. This is just for consistency. I'm a firm believer in using similar motifs over randomness. Unless it's intentionally chaotic, then randomness is good. Here's an observation with this kind of quartal quintal sus thinking, using the sus chord from like E to a quintal, quartal, quintal, to a C quartal, back to an E quartal. It doesn't sound all that dramatic. It actually sounds serene. But if you do it like this with bass triads, it sounds a little bit more mysterious, especially with that flat 6 on the E. That doesn't sound nearly as mysterious. So take a lot of patterns you make. Let's just do minor chords downwards like this. Replace it with like sus, quartal, or quintal. Not the same effect. So what to get out of this is anything pretty much goes. Using quartal, quintal, sus, pandiatonic, even chord moves with like basic triads like this. Still feasible. You have to kind of use your ear, because there's actually no rule. So what to take notice of that after replaying it is that kind of serene kind of sound you get with using this in specific ways, and there's no possible way to cover every possible angle that you can use both pandiatonic and sus chords and quartal, quintal. Too large of a topic, so I'm just giving you general ideas and approaches and crash course. So enjoy.